Hi everyone, with the March tournament now concluded, let's get right into the meta for March 2022. In this video we'll be going over the past month and how the meta changed/evolved. In March we had the March 2022 tournament that saw 20 competitors enter and only one emerge as champion. All up we had over 20 matches occur with a couple interesting decks either resurfacing or making their first appearance. The following are the tiers for deck representation. Overlord tier 50% or more, extremely likely. Elite tier 25% to 49%, very likely. Solid tier 10% to 24%, likely. And finally Rogue tier less than 10%, unlikely. Starting off, we'll look at each week before we analyze the month as a whole. Round 1 of the tournament saw an uptake in Sunwalkers at 20%, while every other deck was evenly distributed at 10%. This wouldn't last, however, as upon entering round 2 of the tournament, the Sunwalker Apex had changed to a non-burn specialty. This resulted in no representation in round 2, with a new meta favourite in Torosian Control emerging. This was likely used for its high counters to specialty decks such as Steel Edge. Other decks that showed up here were Eclipse Troopers that made their presence known with a strong win over a meta Steel Edge deck in a Dragon Hybrid. Following this, in the quarterfinal weekend, we saw Life Gunners take off with an astounding 16% lead in the meta. The obvious buffs given yielded resounding approval from the community as multiple top-ranked competitors took them out for a test drive. Another deck that stayed in the spotlight was the Rogue Beast that saw representation in both hybrid and pure variants due to their high combo potential and swift removal. Entering finals week, we saw Torosian Control in full force with a 10% meta dominance over second place Gambler Beowulf. This would make our final monthly meta incredibly close as many decks had their popular weeks. Looking over the month as a whole, the top dogs of March 2022 were the Torosian Control and Angel decks. But what does this mean? Well, it goes to show that high specialty removal is incredibly valuable in this format. However, Angels were a major sleeper deck this month. While they had no weekly tops, they were constantly around. This consistent play has shown that Angels do have the potential to be a problem archetype in this current meta, and with more support on the way, they could become a major powerhouse once again. Other decks that put in solid performances were Gambler Beowulf and Gambler Pure, which both gave the Life Gambler archetype some much needed shine. This leads into my 3 predictions for March and how they stack up with the results. My first prediction for March was that Torosians will make a comeback in the meta, which does seem to be the case with their meta dominance thus far. The second was that Dragons would see more play in the meta. While they have a ways to go before being meta dominant, decks like Dragon Bandit, Rogue Dragons, and Eclipse Dragons have proved they can be an effective hybrid choice. My third prediction was that Steel Edge will remain a dominant deck while the champion used them. This one would unfortunately be correct, as in previous months, while the Steel Edge player DNB reigned as champ, they had a 19% dominance, just short of 1 in 5 decks. And once he lost the title, Steel Edge would see an overall decline of 12% for the month, resulting in a 7% Rogue classification. Going forward, my predictions for the April meta are: 1. I believe that Mutated will start to show up more as their deck becomes complete due to the new Apex released. Another set 4 supported deck in Bandits will see play due to their exciting and now solid OTK potential as my number 2 prediction. And finally, my third prediction, I believe that Pugs will be heavily looked at due to their high quality cards and fun playstyle. Now, with a new champion crowned and plenty of new opportunities for the meta to develop as Set 4 is released, things can only get more exciting as the year continues. If you'd like to check out our community, the Discord link is in the description below. That being said, this was the meta for March 2022. Please leave a comment down below of your own predictions and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this kind of content. Until next time, this has been Tom. Have a great day.